Oh, what is the Upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXHockeyCast. Run episode 139, The Dominator, Dominic Hasek, of my little hockey show, where once a week I talk about all the news and what's happenings around the NHL, semi-focused in on the Leafs and the Flames, but I'll be talking about all 32 teams on this podcast. And oh, buddy, who is not watching that Four Nations tournament right now? I am over the moon with this tournament, man. I am so into it. It has been, safe to say, way better than the All-Star. This hopefully has killed the All-Star. Just kill the All-Star all around. Like, the NBA stuff, people, I didn't watch it, but I, didn't hear much good things about the NBA All-Star thing. The only thing I like is the dunk competition. I do enjoy the dunk competition, but it's kind of not the same anymore, man. Now it's just, bros are jumping over fucking cars and stuff. Yeah, it's cool, but I don't know, man. I still prefer, the Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, that era of dunking where you're, just doing some crazy shit. It's not about the props and the pizzazz and all that shit. It's about, just the most ridiculous dunks, man. And I don't know. I saw some highlights from it, but I wasn't really feeling it. They have a fucking the celebrity all-star thing or whatever, an interesting concept, but again, it's not entertaining to watch something that's not really competitive. It's just kind of fun pickup game. Oh, look, Kevin Hart, everybody, yay. Yeah, it's just not for me. And same thing with the NHL all-star. It's just it's a fun event. It's great for kids and all that stuff. I would imagine, if I had kids, that would probably be, way too expensive. I'd never take them to that kind of shit. Anyway, but yeah, it's probably good for kids, but as it's not in any way, shape, or fashion growing the game, making it seem more popular. It's not drawing in a bunch of new people, and it's definitely not making a whole lot of great moments. The only great moment I can think of in the NHL All-Star Game was the John Scott thing, and the NHL tried everything in their power to shut that down from happening, and it became one of the best moments. I think there's still, I've been waiting for that movie for a long time now, but let's hope that we never see an NHL All-Star Game again, and we go back to best-on-best tournaments, because this has been fantastic, man. This is, for me, the best hockey I've seen this season. That was phenomenal, and we are set up for the massive finals, USA versus Canada. We'll get into that a little bit later, but we'll build our way up to that game, starting with the Canada-Sweden game. Oh my goodness, man. I put that on, and immediately I was like, okay, all right, this is highly competitive. Fucking pride and patriotism is all over the place on this one, and the players are excited, man. You can tell, they are on the ice, obviously, McKinnon is always fucking delighted to play with Crosby. Now he gets to play with Connor McDavid and all the other amazing Canadians. We've been deprived of best on best for a very, very long time. The Olympics has just been non-existent since I think 2014 was the last time NHL players went. And yeah, man, that's over 10 years ago. So this tournament was very much so needed. And yeah, the one in 2016 or whatever with that was fun because of the debut of Matthews. But yeah, that one was good. It was a fun time. But this one is very fun, though we'll probably not see this particular tournament again because they're going to add in, I believe, some more countries next time around. And whenever Russia decides to behave themselves, they got to get on this action at some point as well. But man, am I ever enjoying this tournament. That first game, Canada-Sweden, damn, son, that was like a playoff game. Just drop me in the middle of a playoff series, and that's what that game felt like. It was super fast, the pace was outstanding, the skill was ridiculous, and the goaltending duel, Gustafsson versus Binnington. We'll discuss Binnington. Let's talk about him right now. I think everyone's being pretty hard on Binnington. No, he's not stealing games for Canada. He's not playing as good as Hellebuck is, but I don't think Binnington's necessarily been the reason. They're not losing games because of Binnington. He's definitely let in some floaters that have been and the way that Canada finished out the Finland game was rather concerning. They're up 4-0. They allow 3 quick ones or 2 quick ones. They almost tie the games, the Finns, but again, that's the Finns, man. We'll talk about the Finns. They were awesome, I think. But Canada-Sweden, that was a wicked fun game. Fucking Mitch Marner with the OT winner. Oh my goodness, man. I had a great time watching that because I have a long-running joke. I mean, it's a joke for me. My wife probably doesn't like it, but she hates Mitch Marner. Like a visceral hatred of Mitch Marner. The thought of him, the sight of him just makes her she doesn't like him. But I always joke, I'm like, oh, there's your favorite player, Mitch Marner, doing his thing. Hey, I got a golden statue, Marner, life-size golden statue should be coming in a few weeks. I'll have it set up in your room in no time. All that kind of stuff. And him scoring that OT winner, I'm like, oh my God, your boy Mitch Marner scores the OT winner. That was a good time, man. And that power play, how fast they connected, like, immediately, like, you can kind of see it on the ice. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I think it was like, what was it, that back pass from Crosby to McKinnon, just deadly looking power play, absolutely. And arguably the most skilled team, one of the most, if not the most skilled team that Canada's maybe put on ice. I don't know, hard to say. I didn't get to watch, the 79, or hold on, I got a picture right there. There's a 72. I definitely wasn't alive for that one. Definitely wasn't alive for like 77, 79, the 80s. And I was alive throughout the 90s, but wasn't really watching hockey quite yet until like the early 2000s. Regardless, people are pretty hyped up on this team, and I'm liking how they're playing so far. Now, I do have concerns with like Crosby and McKinnon playing together, or McKinnon and McDavid playing together. I want them to spread it out a little bit, and I hope that's what they're going to do for USA-Canada on Thursday, but we'll get there. Back to Sweden. Bro, the Montreal crowd, the Bell Center, we knew it was going to be rocking, but holy shit, when Mario Lemieux came out, that was insane. That was insane. That was a WWE level pop. They had the decibel thingy. It was like a 109 or some shit crazy like that. That's big time, man. That's some of the bigger pops that I've seen in the WWE. So, and that's awesome. Like, Mario Lemieux never played for Montreal. He's just a French guy that was one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. And yeah, him getting that ovation, that was freaking awesome. And let's talk about Sidney Crosby. Sid the freaking kid, man. Like, it really does look like he is battling through an injury. He could barely shoot the puck. I think they said he has 2 shots in this entire tournament so far, and he has a goal. So, shooting 50% right now, Sidney Crosby. Unbelievable. 5 points. 5 points. This guy is Mr. Team Canada, man. Like, oh my goodness. He has been unbeatable as a Team Canada guy outside of the U.S. game. Anyway, but guy's unfreaking believable, man. Like, he is such a legend. He's definitely on my Mount Rushmore for the greatest NHL players. I got to watch this guy play, and he's done nothing but do every single thing that you can achieve in hockey, man. He is just a phenomenal player to watch, and he's still got it. He's still getting points, and he's still rocking it for Canada. I imagine one day when Crosby walks into the Bell Center, when he's watching the tournament, he's going to get an ovation like that. I hope, at least, in Montreal one day, because that was sensational. But what a freaking fun game that was. We dealing with a lot of injuries. I mean, it's pretty irrelevant now, but Shea Theodore got injured, which sucks. That basically that eliminated the whole idea of the Vegas blue line pairing of Pietrangelo and Shea Theodore. And there's been a little bit of heat getting thrown at Pietrangelo because he bowed out of the tournament like a couple of days before, and then he played the next day for Vegas and played like 26 minutes. So everyone's like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, you just don't want to play for your country. You want to, and I'm not giving him shit for it. Like, hey, man, if he's focused on getting to the Stanley Cup with Vegas, then that's completely a fine excuse. Not even an excuse. That's a completely fine reason to not partake in this tournament. Now, a lot of people are like, hey, I bet he's fucking regretting not being in this tournament right now, and I bet he's regretting not being there. He's not going to be there on Thursday to play against the United States and be there as one of the best Canadian defensemen. And they would have loved to have him. We would have loved to have him. But, Thomas Harley stepped in there. He was really impressive. Like, damn, son. Like, I drafted him this year in fantasy. Didn't do that great for me. I ended up dropping him. But I like Thomas Harley. He's a fantastic player. Gets a little overshadowed there by that guy you might have heard of, Heiskanen, who was not in the tournament, which sucks. But he got a little time to shine right here. That's nice to see. So he's going to go back, hopefully with a little bit of a boost there for just some nice play and being called in. Like, that's a big deal, man. That's awesome for him. So I'm happy Thomas Harley got in a little bit of playtime right there. But yeah, I imagine Pietrangelo maybe kicking himself. But if Vegas lifts the cup this summer, then who gives a fucking shit, right? He'll be like, see, it was all part of my plan. I'm Pietrangelo. That's how he talks. I've talked to him. He does talk like that. I can confirm that. And so the blue line, it's taken a little bit of a hit. Cale Makar will be back, as far as I know. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so things can change. It's already changed like 4 times. What Quinn Hughes, apparently he's out again. He was in yesterday. Now today he's out. So, boom. Big advantage there for the Canadians, having Cale Makar and the Americans basically played the whole... I don't think Quinn Hughes has been in a game. He may have gotten into a game. I can find him. See if he did. There's too many names. It's going to take too long. But, oh man, what a way to kick off that tournament. It was super fun. I didn't get to watch all the games. Like, I actually missed the Finland USA game. I completely forgot that was even happening. It was happening at a weird time. And I was like, oh shit, I completely spaced on that one. That was very unfortunate. But Matthews wasn't in that game. And regardless, but let's take a little time and talk about Team Finland, man. I was very impressed with Team Finland, especially Mikael Granlund. Damn, son. I hope the Dallas fans are pretty excited. They just picked this guy up. And, dude, he was killer in the tournament for the Finns. He was fantastic. He scored a couple quick goals for Finland to put Canada on edge. And, yeah, dude, he was very impressive. I thought he had a great tournament. Esa Lindell had a really good showing, considering he was, the top defenseman that they had left. There were so many injuries for them, so I thought he played very well for the Finns. There's a little up and down for Patrick Laine. He had 3 assists there, but there was definitely some lackadaisical play throughout the tournament for Patrick Laine, where he was definitely standing still, not really doing anything on the defensive end. And a very interesting, I don't have these stats, but Spit and Chicklets brought up the fact that Patrick Laine's stats have been just in a nosedive ever since the new Call of Duty came out. And I'm like, oh shit. And just recently they had Patrick Laine on the podcast, and he was talking about his days in Winnipeg, where those stories were coming out that Patrick Laine had a gaming addiction problem, where he was playing Fortnite he even said it himself. He's like, yeah, I had one session where it's 16 hours straight or something. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. Even in my prime days, I was not playing 16 hours of Call of Duty or Halo or anything like that. I had my big days where I'm like, yeah, bro, I put in 8 to 10 hours. I'm just a beast right here. But Patrick Laine also talking about on one particular road trip, he brought a TV to game because they're going to be on the road for a little bit, and he got in, everyone's ragging on him for that. But I don't know, Patrick Laine seems like the guy that just kind of rolls off his shoulders, but also at the same time it doesn't, because he's been in and out of the player assistance program, and he's dealing with a bunch of shit. And it's also kind of looking like throughout this tournament that maybe the Habs fans are turning on Patrick Laine a little bit, and that's not going to be good, because kind of the whole reason for Patrick Laine's success, or at least decent start in Montreal, was the excellent reception that he got there even before he played. I remember the home opener, he was there on crutches, and they gave him a massive standing ovation, and he was like, holy shit, this is amazing. They love me here. And if Montreal turns on Patrick Laine, it may end not so good. So hopefully, I think it's at this point, what Patrick Laine is, man. He's a defensive liability. He's a net negative on defense, but he's a power play monster, and he can go on goal scoring tangents where, yeah, he looks like one of the best goal scorers in the game. But yes, there are those liabilities, and that type of player is definitely getting weeded out. There's particular teams that can use that kind of player, like Montreal. They've done quite well. He was putting in a bunch of power play goals for him. It was looking really good. But yeah, he's been in a little bit of a nosedive there. He didn't have a bad tournament. It's just Defensively, I would say he had a bad tournament. Offensively, not bad at all. So some of the bigger names for the Finns, Sebastian Aho, and more so particularly Mr. Mikko Rantanen. Oh, I love those videos of the Swedes and the Finns. They're just walking back there and they pronounce their names like in their native tongue, the native way that it would sound. And I know the Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, that bro can't even fucking say his own name. It's so ridiculous, but that's going viral. I really like it. Mikko Rantanen. So Mikko Rantanen had an okay tournament. I was really hoping he would, I don't know, come out of his shell a little bit. It's not like he's playing for Carolina in this tournament, but yeah, it's really starting to catch traction here, that Rantanen's slow start in Carolina. And, maybe exposing Rantanen a little bit. People are like, oh, you see, Nathan MacKinnon, he made him a lot better than he actually is. And I still think Rantanen's an amazing player. But, yeah, man, it's definitely better when you have a guy like Nathan MacKinnon playing on your center. And he's dishing you amazing passes. And he's taking heat off of you, because defense and other players are going to be focused on MacKinnon as well. They were just a fantastic duo, man. It worked very, very, very well. And MacKinnon has an easier time, doing his thing, and it doesn't. He's like, oh, okay, just give me Necas, fine. He's talented. He's maybe not as big and physical as Rantanen, but he's very talented. I'll make it work, and he absolutely has. And Necas is just like, oh, it's just seeing dollar signs all over his head. He's like, oh, it's amazing. And then Mikko Rantanen, man, this is he might be burning millions at this point. Who knows? Like a team, I would imagine, Chicago would, if they're like, yo, if we can get him for 14, other teams don't want to do that anymore, we'll do it. We'll take him because, fuck, they need him. So Rantanen could be burning up some millions of dollars right now. He could still be in shock. People brought up the fact that he was really blindsided by that trade, and his agent was blindsided, and they really believed that they were going to be able to work things out, and Bob's your uncle will be okay. But shit changes, man. It didn't make financial sense for them to put so much money into so many, 3 players. You look at the Leafs and how top heavy they are, and they've had no success with that. So they didn't want to fall in that same boat, and it's been pretty good for them. We'll see who comes out at the end of it and in the playoffs. If Rantanen goes further than Colorado does, then people may not be so crazy. But then there's also the talks of the possibility of Carolina trading this guy again. If they don't think like, hey, okay, this guy's not fitting into our system, we're not going to pay this guy $14 million to put up 70. I would imagine he'd be like an 85, maybe a 90-point player in Carolina. Again, this has been a well-known thing for Carolina for a very, very long time. They're more of a team-focused game. They don't care about putting up big statistical numbers. There haven't been big statistical numbers coming out of Carolina in a long time. Eric Staal was the last 100-point guy I can remember for Carolina, and that was back in 2006. And I've been waiting for guys like Svechnikov to pop off for 50, and Aho to have a 100-plus point season, and Necas to hit that 100-point season, but that's just not really what Carolina do, baby. Like, if you put Aho in, let's just, I don't know, an offensively minded, Montreal. Like, yeah, that guy could probably hit 100 points because they play a more offensive fucking chaotic style, but Aho knows it. And yeah, man, same thing with like Barkov. If Barkov wanted to focus more on his offense, he could probably put up 100 points in Florida, but he's the best two-way player in the game. That's just, he is fine with sacrificing some offense in terms of defense, which will bring you more wins. People bring up the Steve Yzerman story all the time. How Detroit was a team that was good, but they couldn't get over the hump. And everyone's looking at Stevie Y like, oh, look at this guy. He puts up 150 fucking points, 60 some odd goals, but you can't get it done. And Stevie Y sacrificed offense, started going down to like 80, 90 points, and then the cup started rolling in. So these guys know this thing, defense, sacrificing offense, it comes with the territory. That's why Carolina's been a very strong team for a very long time, but they do lack that elite, just a guy that is just dominating, and that's what Rantanen's supposed to be. But again, with their style, their system, I don't know if he's going to be able to break through that. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's still early. Like I said, could be blindsided, still shocked from the trade. You got to, again, he's going from the West. Colorado, which, has a whole different fucking air system. The atmosphere's different. So maybe he's got a big adjustment to deal with right here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Carolina ends up doing. Are they going to move this guy? They could definitely get a haul for him. They probably would still end up losing because, how much they gave up to get him. Probably not going to get that much back to, get him out of there. So, because he hasn't been, necessarily turning heads in Carolina. So his value is probably lower. We'll see, man. It's a very interesting situation, but Rantanen didn't have a head-turning tournament either. He was fine. He definitely wasn't the best player on Finland, and yeah, man, I was really hoping for a little bit more out of Mikko Rantanen in this tournament, but hey, at least Mikael Granlund got it done for him, so he played really good. Alexander Barkov did his thing, he's defensively responsible, playing against all the best players and stuff like that, but the Finnish defense was good for what it was. Olli Maatta did his thing, Henri Jokiharju, who else is on there? Esa Lindell, like I said, was really good. Capo Caco was okay. I thought Anton Lundell played good two-way game as well. Where's Nico Mikkola? Yeah, Juuso Well, he didn't play, actually, so never mind. Not you. Uro Vakanainen, yeah, he played well. Montepallo, man, he's definitely caught some attention. I was hearing his name a ton throughout the games. I'm like, all right, this guy's getting involved. He's definitely taking advantage of his opportunity, man. He's like, holy shit, I have eyes on me. I have an opportunity. So let's see. It's going to be very interesting what his role is going to turn into with the Ottawa Senators when he gets back. He's definitely going to be riding high. Oh, fuck yeah. All right. So, even though the Finns, they did get they did get a win. Yeah, they beat Sweden in overtime. That might have been the Granlund game. I don't know. I'm mixing them all up here, but fuck. I was impressed with Finland, man, considering, the team they were going up against and the way that their blue line kind of got decimated. I was impressed. UC Saros, honestly, the goaltending hasn't been all that good across the board. People giving so much shit to Binnington. I mean, he's the second best goalie in the tournament. So in terms of save percentage, no one's really been all that good outside of Connor Hellebuck, who's been phenomenal. So even though he hasn't been necessarily tested ridiculously, he's been Hellebuck, man. And oh man, if they can get this Hellebuck, Winnipeg, if they get this Hellebuck in the playoffs, look the fuck out, man. Start planning that parade in Winnipeg because it's going to be a cold one. But hey, that's going to be really cool. And let's talk about Team Sweden now. Not the most impressed by Team Sweden here. They only got the one win there against USA, and that wasn't the full USA team. They almost seemed like that game didn't have any importance. They're all right, we're facing whoever wins from Canada, Finland, and this is just kind of a game. So they kind of eased off, and then they healed themselves up. I believe Ottinger played in that game. No Matthews. He's always healing up. He's kind of like the Kawhi Leonard of the NHL right now, but he got just a little bit of an off day, and he'll be ready for the finals. So that's good for Austin Matthews, but we're not talking about the Americans. We're talking about Sweden. So Erik Karlsson, pretty impressive tournament for him. And hey, maybe this can get him out of Pittsburgh. Maybe someone sees what Karlsson did in this tournament, playing on a really good team, and what he could still provide to a playoff-bound team. Obviously, that contract's a problem. They could work on that. They could definitely... Penguins can eat a little bit of that cap. It will suck, but if you're gonna trade this guy to a playoff team, you're gonna have to eat some salary there. But he was pretty good, man. If you put him in the right positions, you get him on the power play, you put him in safe positions when he's out there on 5-on-5. Don't get him out there playing much for defense, but the guy is still an amazing passer. He's got the offensive abilities, and he looked freaking pretty damn good for Sweden, man. He might have been the best player for them. Lucas Raymond had a very good showing as well, man. He is going to be one of the best Swedish players in the game for a long time. He just gets better and better and better, so really impressed with him. I like Joel Eriksson X game as well. He had a couple of points there, but good defense. Two-way game. Jesper Bratt had the 2 points out there as well. And my boy, Willie Nylander. I saw the clip of him speaking in Swedish, like yelling at, Zibanejad, like, use speed, like, come on in with speed and stuff like that. I could see Willie being, like, the captain of Sweden at some point. And maybe when Victor Hedman moves on, what about Willie, man? Like, that guy, he was definitely playing with some passion out there. I liked his game. Zibanejad was, Adrian Kempe was pretty quiet. Arvidsson, but their defense played okay. Victor Hedman, Matthias Ekholm playing very good. Rasmus Dahlin. Yeah, there was some pretty good. Overall, I think Sweden was probably the most disappointing in this tournament. I was definitely expecting a little bit more out of them. Losing that game to Finland, that was not great for them. And the goaltending a little bit all over the map. So Gustafsson, honestly, none of the goalies were very good for Sweden. Ullmark didn't do a whole lot better either. So, yeah, maybe next time for Sweden. We'll see if they can do better in the next Four Nations or whatever tournament we do next. But it is what it do, man. I think Finland did better. I'm very impressed with Finland. All right, let's talk about the big ones. Let's talk about the big game. Let's talk about Canada and USA, their first meeting, which was pretty uneventful. Nothing happened at all in that first period. No fights. It was just, it was absolutely boring. Obviously, I'm kidding. So, 3 fights to kick off the game. My goodness. I didn't get to watch the game live because my wife didn't want to, and she wanted to watch wrestling. I says, okay, happy wife, happy life. So I watched it later, and holy shit, that opening was fucking chaotic, bro. Absolutely chaotic. The Kachuk bros, the Bash bros, whatever I love these guys. I freaking love them. I almost bought a Brady. Not gonna lie, I almost bought a Brady Kachuk jersey this week. I ended up buying a Nordiques jersey instead. I'm trying to collect all the Canadian teams' jerseys. All I need now is I need a Sens and I need an Edmonton Oilers jersey, which is wild to me. But yeah, bro, I almost pulled that trigger on a Brady Kachuk because I'm like, I love the Kachucks. I have a Matthew Kachuk jersey, and they're so freaking cute. They're in the box, and like Matthew fights first. He doesn't. I don't know. He didn't really do that great. And then his brother Brady goes next, and Brady did better. I'd say he won his fight. And Matthew's there pounding the glass, and you can see them talking in there. He's like, "How was my fight?" He's like, "Oh, yours was awesome. How did I do?" He's like, "Oh, bro, you were awesome." Like, these guys are very, very important to the growth of the NHL. I do believe this. And I'm very excited for this next Amazon Prime series that they're doing, because Matthew Kachuk in the first series, he was one of the best things of it. Talking about Edmonton, like, oh, do they even have pools over there? He's a villain, man. He's a heel. He's a WWE heel. He's entertainment. He is exactly what the doctor ordered when it comes to what the NHL needs. Personality. Oh my goodness. And these guys have it in spades. Just a full house of personality right there. And bring the dad along. Bring in Keith. Like, that guy's sensational. And he's calling his kids lunatics. They're fucking lunatics out there. They're crazy. And they are, man. That was super fun. And then you get the JT Miller fight after that. Why not? Hey, throw him out there. I sadly didn't get my JT Miller versus Elias Pettersson. Oh my god, I gotta talk about Elias Pettersson. Hold up. Rewind back to the Swedes. Elias Pettersson. What the fuck, bro? Damn, man. I'm getting angry. Getting angry with this player right now. Because you're okay, so I was really hoping that he would get it done, do something, pop off, show some fucking flair, something in this tournament, and he was pretty invisible, man. Pretty invisible. I think he got an assist. He might have gone pointless throughout the tournament, but man, the more and more this goes on, the more I'm thinking that Vancouver made the wrong choice here. Now, I don't think they really had a choice, honestly. I think the relationship between Vancouver and JT Miller, the organization, was strained. I don't think even if they traded Pettersson and chose Miller, I don't know if you would still get the full JT Miller experience anymore. Like, I think that it definitely strained the relationship. So I think, that's why I talked about how massive of a failure it was for the Canucks organization to even let this get this bad and get it to this point. I'm thinking that Vancouver's probably going to end up trading Pettersson too, if they can. He's been downright almost useless, and the amount of money that he's making, it's going to be a really hard trade to get done, and a trade that you don't look like a moron coming out of it, because the fact that even if you're trading, you're an idiot for trading Pettersson, period, and letting this happen. But yeah, he had a very quiet tournament, really didn't do a damn thing, so that sucks. I really was hoping that he would do something, and no, he didn't do a hell of a lot at all, so that sucks. All right, back to the Americans in that game. Holy shit. Charlie McAvoy. I am so happy this guy is not going to be playing on Thursday. What a mean man. Who's shitting his Cheerios? Holy shit. So the hit on McDavid, that was insane. Damn near almost decapitated Matthews doing it. He fucking hit McDavid so hard, he goes vertical, or he goes fucking horizontal. His skates come up, and he almost clipped Matthews in the face with his skate. Like, I saw Matthews like, Jesus Christ, holy fuck. That was crazy right there. But McAvoy, bruh. Oh, there's a Bruins fan at work, and I'm actually going to Elimination Chamber with him, but I was discussing Charlie McAvoy with him. I'm like, man, that guy is a fucking piece of shit. He's like, I love him. I'm like, yeah, you must love him, man. Like, I remember the draft. I wanted the Leafs to take him. Only because he was a right shot defenseman. I was just like, any right shot. I wanted them to draft Brandon Schneider, whatever. I wanted him. He's been great. I wanted McAvoy. He's been great. Leafs, hire me. I'll be your scout. I can just look at a guy and be like, he'll be good. That's it. I don't even have to watch him play. And I will take $150,000 a year salary. That's enough. That's fair. I think that's good. And I don't need to, a little more would be fine, but that's okay. I'm not greedy. All right. So McAvoy then proceeds to just assault Sidney Crosby during that power play, because he knows he's been in playoff games before. He's learned from Bergeron. He's learned from Chara. He's learned from Marchand what to do in these situations, and he knew that he wouldn't get a penalty called on them again, so he goes and just smashes Crosby in the face. Whoa! Just fucking hammered him. And I was just like, wow, dude, like, this guy, like, I have to give him his flowers, man. He is good at what he does. He is effective, and he was fucking Canada up, man. I will give the Americans the edge. They are definitely the tougher squad out there on the ice right now. You got the big bag Kachucks. You got that big blue line, man. Like, yeah, they're a mean team. And I was very relieved to hear that A, Quinn Hughes won't be there, and B, Charlie McAvoy won't be there. Now, the Americans have a very deep blue line. Brock Faber has been sensational for them. Who's the other guy on their blue line that's been very, very good? As I struggle, we'll find his name. Looking for an American. Dylan Larkin's been very good as well, man. I don't hear a lot of people talking about Dylan Larkin, but he's been very good. Brady Tkachuk obviously has been a sensation. He's been super good. Matt Boldy's been very good. Both Tkachuks have been very good. Jake Gensel's getting a bunch of points. Now Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews, honestly, I feel like he's kind of secured himself as like the Bergeron of the team here a little bit. Like, he has been very defensively responsible. He's just been really good defensively. Now, offensively, yeah, he's been quiet. He's been missing the net, which he's been doing a lot this year, missing that net. Like, bro, I would rather you just hit the fucking net instead of always trying to go high. But, yeah, Matthews has been pretty quiet. He's definitely dealing with something minor. That's what, actually, well, they announced that. He's definitely dealing with something minor there, but we'll see, man. But he's been playing very good defense, so I'll give him that. Brock Faber's been great. Okay, who's the other gosh darn defenseman back there? Where is he? Jacob Slavin, there it freaking is. My goodness, this guy. I already knew how freaking good he was, how amazing he is at defense, and just his stick, man. He is so good with that stick. Like, no one gets through this guy, and he just doesn't take penalties, which is the most amazing thing about that guy. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of Americans that are doing rather well. It's going to be a ridiculous game. And obviously, Connor Hellebuck has been great. He's been great. He's got like a .957 save percentage. What else is freaking new? Yeah, he's been awesome. Oh, Jack Eichel, bro. Jack Eichel has been so good. some people have been comparing Eichel to Steve Yzerman, honestly, and he has been great, man. Like, who knows how different his career would be if he didn't spend all those years in Buffalo and, was with an organization that had a head on its shoulders and knew some things about how to run a hockey organization. Who knows? Who knows how many more amazing seasons Jack Eichel would have had? Like, who knows, man? He's really, really coming into his own now ever since he got to Vegas, had the surgery that he needed to have, and he has been awesome out there for the Americans. He's been great. Oh, man, who else has been great? Zach Werenski's got 5 freaking points. Like, geez, man, that American defense is terrifying, and they showed their firepower in that game against the Finns. It was a game until it wasn't, until the Americans were just like, here's a couple of goals, and it's over. That was a 5-1 victory, so yeah, the Americans have firepower. They got some toughness. They got a huge blue line, and they have the best freaking goaltender in the world. How is Canada going to win? Well, I think they're going to do it, man. I really think Canada's got this one. Mostly because it's very difficult to beat a team twice. The Americans did it. They don't have Charlie McAvoy anymore. I mean, Connor Hellebuck can steal a game by himself, and they have an incredible squad. But I feel good about the Canadians. It's just a feeling, probably, but I think they're going to do okay. I have a lot of confidence in Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Makar, and frickin' McDavid, bro. Like, those guys are so freaking hard to stop. And I think the Mikhail Makar ingredient was something they're missing on that blue line from the first meeting with the United States. So hopefully that's going to help them get some pucks down in there and get some in-tight shots on Hellebuck, maybe some traffic that'll get a shot through. That would be really good as well. But we know Makar, he's definitely going to help them. And the idea with McAvoy not being there, that's arguably their most physical defenseman. So that's going to allow McKinnon, McDavid to dash into the offensive zone the way that they do, and that's going to back off the defense, and that's going to give more space for other guys, a pass, a lane to open up, something, right? So hopefully, I think them not having McAvoy back there, that's going to help out the Canadians a lot, and obviously having Makar there, that's going to help out a lot. So that's really good, but I would also like Canada to deploy them differently. I don't want to see those guys on the same line with each other unless they are down a goal and they're looking for one late, or obviously the power play. Then yeah, fucking load it up, let all the big boys get out there and have a little bit of fun. But they gotta, I think you want to spread that out. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a Braden Point up there. The guy is like the 4th best fucking center in the world, like 5th, top 5, something like that. He's insane. He'll do just fine up there, and you can spread out that offense and make it a wave. Just like, oh, fuck, we just dealt with McDavid. Oh, shit, here comes frickin' McKinnon. Honestly, I think they might be fine with keeping Crosby, McKinnon together. I would rather have McDavid run his own line. You could easily have those 3 run their own lines. That would be completely fine with me. I just don't really want to see them all together, because I don't think that, especially like McDavid and McKinnon, they should definitely be separated, because they don't really complement each other very well, because they both kind of do the same thing. They explode into the offense with insane speed, and then it's fucking question marks. What are they going to do? They make a ridiculous pass, they're going to cut to the middle, they're going to go around, who knows? So they both kind of bring that element to the line. I would rather them split that up and make that just chaos for the Americans to try and deal with. And it's going to be hard to stop them if they don't have that physicality. The defense is just going to have to kind of back off and hope for the best that they can get their sticks in the lanes or block them off, spacing, whatever they got to do. And it's not an easy thing with those players. So Slavin's going to have his stick busy, and he's going to be a busy boy, him and Brock Faber. So they got a big task right there. I would really hope that they spread out that love. And it's going to be different. It's a different environment as well. They're not in Montreal no more. They're going to Boston. So I guess I'll discuss this booing situation. I don't know. It's way more political of a thing. I hate politics with a burning passion. I absolutely hate it. And I just don't want it to like devolve down into violence or anything like that. That's all I'm worried about. passionate sports fans in a patriotic moment. You just got a new president in there, and he's fucking saying a whole bunch of crazy shit, and I just don't want anything bad to happen. I don't want no fucking riot. I don't want anybody to get killed. I don't want anything bad like that to happen over a fucking sport, right? Even though I know it's a lot more than that, but these kind of events can really spark something, so I really hope nothing negative comes out of this tournament, because then we'll probably never see it again. So everyone behave your fucking selves there in Boston, and be nice. If you guys lose to the Canadians, don't flip over cars and be psychos. Just be good, go home, drink a beer, punch a wall, and go to bed. You forget about it in a week or two. Trust me. So I'm worried. I'm a little bit worried. I get flashbacks of Vancouver and the riots and shit like that. And I don't want anything negative like that to happen. Nothing bad happened in Canada. Let's, America, behave yourselves. So boo the anthem. I don't care if it makes you feel better. I've always been of the mind, like, let's just not, like, the anthems were there because of the wars back in the 40s, man. Like, they played the anthems to show respect to the men and women fighting across seas and shit like that. They're like, yes, there's always wars. You don't really need it, do we? Do we really need it? Like, maybe to open up the season and to open up the playoffs and maybe an ending ceremony, sure, but like every single game. And if it is for, paying respects and all that stuff to the wars, then shouldn't we be playing the Ukraine anthem? Shouldn't we be playing some other people's anthems that could use some fucking support? I don't know. This is why I don't do politics, man. It makes me too angry. I get too fired up, and I don't like it. So behave yourselves. If you're lucky enough to go to that game, just be safe, be good, and so just be careful with that environment. It's going to be different. It's Boston, and Boston tends to be pretty wild. Speaking of wild, we're going to have to keep our eyes on the wildness of this game. I doubt we're going to kick off with 3 fights again. We may have a fight. There may not be anything. I imagine that the American coaches, Sullivan probably talked to them like, hey guys, that was fucking awesome. That was sick. That's going to be one of the big moments. That's argued, like, people are calling it Brady Tkachuk's biggest career moment, because, he plays for the Sens. They haven't really done anything yet since he's been there. So I'm like, okay. But settle down. He's going to have to settle down, right? That's kind of been the stigma around Brady Tkachuk. He plays with emotion, and sometimes those emotions get in the way, and he makes a stupid mistake. So he's got to avoid that kind of stuff and really fucking focus and play the game that they're supposed to play. I know there's a lot of fun, having the fights and playing with your brother, and you're in America, and you guys want to win for the Americans. I get it, but you gotta play smart out there. That goes for you too, Mr. Matthew Tkachuk. You gotta play smart. Don't be stupid. And honestly, from what I've seen, the refereeing people have been not mad about it, honestly. There hasn't been a lot of calls throughout I think Canada's had like 3 power plays or something like that, so they've been holding the whistles back decently. We'll see how it goes for Thursday. I could, in classic NHL fashion, I could see them completely changing the rules, like all of a sudden everything's a penalty and there'll be 1,000 power plays and they'll be really annoying, or they're just going to let them play. And there's going to be a lot of bullshit going on in those games. Thankfully, McAvoy is out of it, so that's like their number 1 contender. But we got Marchand. Hey, Marchand, you better knock it off, buddy. You better knock that shit off. I'm starting to like you a lot. Like, I'm starting to like him a lot as a human being. As a Boston Bruins hockey player, can't fucking stand the guy. But Brad Marchand, the Team Canada player, the man, the human being, pretty fucking cool, man. Pretty good guy, funny, and dude, him there, he wasn't on there was the incredible 3-on-3, 4-on-4? Whatever, that overtime was sensational. So much fun. And Brad thought the same thing. He's back there. Boy, you guys are fun to watch. I might be your biggest fan. I'm like, oh my God. This guy, you know what? I like him. You could tell, like, it felt not tense or anything, but a little stiff, a little, it was quiet. It was definitely quiet back there after a big win like that. And he kind of opened it up a little bit, got the guys laughing. And yeah, he's definitely not the big member of Team Canada that he used to be when he was playing with Crosby and stuff. But yeah, he still brings an element And I'm rather excited to see what he's going to bring to Canada on Thursday. Maybe a big goal, maybe a big lick. Who knows what Brad is going to bring? But he better bring something. So Brad Marchand, you knock it off, because who knows? I might get a jersey with your name on it one day, maybe with a Team Canada. I was really looking for a Team Canada jersey. Obviously, I imagine a lot of us are, because hey, those Team Canada jerseys are pretty nice, I must admit. I've had interest in Team Canada jerseys before, but this one, I'm like, damn, that is sharp. That is very sharp. I like the off-white. My wife hates it. I'm like, I like a good cream. I like a good cream color, a little beige. Oh yeah, I'm all about that. But I will admit that the bright white might have popped a little bit nicer on this particular jersey, but I'm a big fan of the beige, so I'm fine with that. I saw a Willie Nylander Sweden jersey. $300. No way, Jose, not this guy. I'm not paying that much for a jersey, but I will be keeping my eyes out for when this tournament is over. A lot of that shit's going to go on sale, so keep your eyes out. Doubtful there'll be any jerseys, because they're basically already sold out, at least on NHL Shop, from what I can tell. But if you're in a market for jerseys right now, there's some banger sales on NHLShop.com. I'm not sponsored whatsoever, but I gotta admit, man, I get cheap jerseys on NHL.com.ca all the freaking time. I got an Adidas Matthews St. Pat's jersey for $25. I got the same one in Mitch Marner for $50. I got this Nordiques jersey for $70. Don't pay full price for jerseys, y'all. Wait. If you really want a jersey, wait till the off season. Wait till playoffs are done. Wait till after and get in that period, that off season window. That's the time. Or if a guy gets traded and you really like that player and you're not bitter about him leaving, pick up that dude's fucking jersey when he leaves, because it'll be freaking cheap. I got Matthew Tkachuk's jersey for $60 because he got traded, and I was like, boom, son. I love the Flames and I love Tkachuk, so that's absolutely, yeah. I cannot wear that in Calgary. I will be beaten, but that's fine. It's good in 99% of the rest of the world, so that's okay with me. So yeah, keep your eyes out for jersey sales. Don't be a sucker and pay full price for a jersey, because they always go on sale, man. Trust me, they always go on sale. There may be a particular jersey that is hard to locate, but nowadays they're pretty good, man. There's a lot of jerseys out there, so just keep your eyes open anyway. So check it. I'll be checking out the sales and see what I can get. I got a Team Canada blanket for $12. That's a steal. That's a deal right there. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that. So, all right. What else should I talk about? Obviously, the goaltending is going to be a big situation. Now, what's interesting is that Connor Hellebuyck is the best goaltender in the world, right? But he has a horrible track record in big games. He kind of crumbles in the playoffs. And, this is a big game, but, he's played good in the tournament so far. But will the nerves get to Connor Hellebuyck? Do the nerves get to Connor Hellebuyck? He seems like such a stoic man that nothing can get through to him, but maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll get to him. Being at home, and who knows? The American patriotism is going to be, I imagine, rather insane in Boston on Thursday. So we'll see if that gets to Hellebuyck. And the other thing is, Binnington has a track record of being a big game goaltender. Wins in Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals, and yeah, he's been here before. He's had the big games, and we'll see if maybe this is his element. This is where he thrives. I mean, he has a great game. Who knows? It could be a goaltending battle. It could be a fucking 8-7 overtime game, which would be amazing. I would love that. That would be the best outcome. And with the Canadians winning, of course. But yeah, we'll see if that is going to be a big issue. Obviously, on paper, the Americans have an advantage in net. And what about the other big stars for the Americans? What about Austin Matthews? Is this, he had the off day, he didn't have to play against the Swedes. Is he going to have more energy in this final game to get that big win? And, Matthews doesn't really have a big track record for big moments and big games. Neither does Mitch Marner for the Canadians. So I'm not really going to be looking for I hope they have great games for the sake of my Toronto Maple Leafs. They better have some good performances out there. But like I said, Matthews has been quiet. Maybe this is just the right amount of break, and he'll come in and score 3 goals in the first 3 minutes, and he'll break my heart and also make me very happy at the same time. Be a very emotional situation. But there's a very good chance that it's going to be the other guys that get the job done for either one of these teams. What if it's the Hagels and the Braden Points and the I think Konechny's going to get in there. Is Sam Bennett going to get into the lineup on Thursday for more grit? Where's Tom Wilson in this? People have been talking about Tom Wilson. Like, why didn't they bring Tom Wilson? He's having a phenomenal year. I talked about him last week. The guy's got 24 goals or something. He's well on his way to a 30-goal season. He's just a crazy man. Like, if you even, like, he's probably still the heavyweight champion of the NHL. Like, the Kachucks Brady would definitely, that would be a fight, man, that Wilson versus Brady, but I think Wilson's got the experience. And yeah, man, I think maybe they should have brought Tom Wilson in. No disrespect to, like, Sam Bennett or Konechny or whatever, but Wilson is a legitimate, tough fucking customer that can change the way that the Americans feel. Like, I don't think Matthews and Jack Hughes is going to feel that comfortable if Tom Wilson's out there. And, he might, wires crossed, it's a tournament. Am I going to get suspended in the real NHL? I don't think so, so I'm going to take your fucking head off. What do you think about that? And then he'll fight anybody. It doesn't matter. So, I'm kind of sucks that Tom Wilson didn't make the team. No Washington Capitals are in this tournament. It's pretty wild. Logan Thompson should have been here too. There's a lot of discussion that Team Canada apparently had, like, it set in stone before the season even began. Like, we're going Montembeault, Bennington, Aiden Hill. Those are our guys. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense because at that time, Logan Thompson just got traded from Vegas. He was the backup, and yeah, he had some good moments, but he's just like kind of an unknown quantity still at that point, and he's been sensational. So yeah, it kind of makes sense if they did make that decision early, and we're staying pat. We're not moving off of it. Probably a bad decision, but it is what it is. So I would have really enjoyed to see Tom Wilson in this tournament. That would have been really key. But yeah, it could be the other guys in the tournament. For the Americans, it could be a Brock Nelson. It could be, who the fuck else is dead? What about Kyle Connor, man? He's been pretty quiet. I think he was originally on the top line. He's slid all the way down to the fourth line now. He's just hasn't really gotten it going there. But it could also be the big guys, fucking Jack Eichel, Stanley Cup champion. He can have a big game. So we'll see, man. I am extremely excited for this game, the outcome, everything that's going to happen from this. Overall, I think it's been a huge win for the NHL, finally. It did go up against the NBA All-Star weekend or whatever, and it did better. It did way better. They had, like, across Sportsnet and whatever, they had like 3 million viewers or something like that. Like, great numbers for a little tournament here. And well done. So they got to do this more. They got to take their shots and believe in your product. Like, go up against other things. Like, yes, if you go up, like, a lot of people are talking shit right now because, like, the NFL's over. Super Bowl's done. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Sucks that, okay. Little sidebar with the Super Bowl, because I did watch a little bit of it. I couldn't fucking believe how many times Philadelphia sacked Mahomes in a row like that. There was like 3 sacks in a row. I was stunned. I do not watch a lot of football, but I could not fucking believe that happened. I was like, I watched the Super Bowls basically. And yeah, so I've seen some Kansas City. I've seen what Mahomes can do, and I was stunned at the way that Philadelphia's defense just shut that shit down. No way, not today. Sexy lady, walk away. Philadelphia Eagles, congratulations. Impressive, very impressive. But yeah, they're talking about, like, the NFL's done right now. This is your time to capitalize. There's a blank slot right here, and you got to capitalize. Like, get those people. Those NFL people are hunting for something. Like, I need sports. I need something. What is it? What's this? All 4 nations. Oh, I'll try that. And you get into it. You get some fucking new people over here. So, and you kind of have the NBA wobbling a little bit right here, where just a few years ago, the NBA looked like it could fucking be the next big one. And all of a sudden, now they're on shaky grounds where their own players are shit-talking the league. It's not the best viewing experience anymore. The game is just revolving around threes. And yeah, so the NHL, try more. Just go up against the NBA more often. Just put your product out there and put it in prime time slots, and don't be like, oh, we'll just chicken out. We'll put our game here way before the Super Bowl and no, fucking smarten up. Get your fucking players out there. Let the Kachucks bring the NHL success, man. Throw those kids out there and let their personalities flow and bring the viewership to the NHL. But Yeah, bro, I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. It's pretty much all Four Nations tournament talk, but can you blame me, man? That shit is pretty friggin' awesome, and I'm excited. I'm excited for more of these tournaments. I'm excited for more best-on-best hockey, because I think that's what we're all asking for out of this. We want more of this, less all-star games, more of this, please and thank you. So far, I am loving this tournament. And who do you think is going to win? I'm picking Canada. I think they're going to get it done. The addition of Cale Makar. The Canadians just get it done, man. You know, you got fucking Sidney Crosby there. He is Captain Canada. He is the man. So I expect him and the boys to get it done. And better luck next time, Matthews. You're not there yet. But those Americans definitely have us Canadians. Like, I see you guys. You're a major threat now. And it's a legitimate, huge rivalry. Like, we have moved on from the Czechs from the 70s or the Russians in the 70s or whatever. It is purely Canada versus USA right now. No offense to Sweden and Finland. You guys are always in the mix. Always. I never look down on those teams. I think those teams are incredible. I love the way that Finland plays, man. They're so dogged. They never give up. Remind me of the Calgary Flames and why I love them so much. They never count them out, because when you do, you pay the price. So that's what it do. It is what it do, everybody. So let me know who you think is going to win the tournament. Are you Team Canada? Are you Team USA? Regardless, I think we win as hockey fans this time around. This has been an awesome tournament, and I can't wait for more. They've announced more. I don't have that information off the top of my head, but there have been more announced, and that's great. Great news, great stuff. Let me know what you think, and thank you, everybody, so much for listening. You're the best. You want to be even more the best, make sure you're reviewing the podcast wherever you're listening to it. You know, hit it with whatever stars you think is appropriate. I'm not going to beg for 5 stars if you don't believe I deserve it, and only give me what you believe I deserve. And if you're not going to give me 5 stars, tell me why. I can go for some constructive criticism. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, what I can do better. Let me know what I can do, and I upload all these episodes over on the YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos. Link in the description. Go follow along over there. Subscribe, please, and thank you. And drop a comment on one of the videos. Send in a question, anything about hockey, wrestling, video games. I'd love to answer it. Get involved with the podcast, all that great stuff. I have a Twitter page that I don't really use anymore, but it's there. You follow the link and follow with that. And in terms of what we got going on with the podcast this week, whole bunch of wrestling stuff went up. If you haven't noticed, a couple of pay-per-view reviews went up, NXT and AEW, even though the AEW one wasn't technically a pay-per-view, but it felt like one. That's there, so there's a couple of extra bonus pay-per-view reviews. This week for the GamerCast, I believe I'm going to be doing the hardest video games that I have played. I've played a couple of hard games already this year. I'll be discussing those and some of the other hardest games I have played personally. Now, they may not have been hard games for you, but some of these are pretty freaking hard. Pretty legit. So that'll be the GamerCast this week. And the WrestleCast, I think we're in the clear for pay-per-views, I think. So there we go, everybody. Thank you again so much for listening. We'll be back again with some GX Podcast.